This is another filler episode, but let's stay consistent, shall we? So this episode opens up with Erika Jane getting ready to shoot her music video. Then we head over to Dorit and PK's home, and they are still discussing Erika Jane's coochie. Like, this cannot be your storyline, Dorit. This entire season, you have to come with something different. Hopefully, you bring us something better than this, please. Because those Vanderpump Rules kids is outshining this show right now. This show is starting to hit a plateau of just blandness. So I need y'all to spice it up. We head over to Kyle, Mauricio, right? Mauricio, and her beautiful little baby girl Portia, who's so adorable. And they're at their listing with Ken and Lisa, and they're showing, well, Mauricio is showing them this listing, and I guess he brought them there because they're wealthy and they may have wealthy friends to talk about this house too. So I guess he brought them there to show them that, and then we have this big throwback, like of pictures of Kyle and Mauricio back when they were poor. Because Kyle loves to talk about how they were poor and they were broke and they didn't have any money. I'm just like, Kyle, poor for you, but let's be real. You wasn't getting FEMA and WIC and welfare poor. Stop lying. Like, you were, one bedroom and BH poor, okay? You were in a certain type of community, so let's not play this game like you're one of us and you were just some rags to riches story. No. However, I will say this, out of all of these housewife reality TV show marriages, I personally feel like Mauricio and Kyle are the real deal because she didn't marry him for the money, and she lets you know that every time. When I got with him, he ain't have no money. Tell him, girl. Tell him. And so I love this marriage. I really, really do, because I think that this is like the real deal. I think they really, really love each other. And although I think she overinflates how poor they were, I do love the fact that they were together when the both of them didn't have like Bentleys and all these, wealthy friends, when they were just, struggling for them. But I like that. I do enjoy it, although I don't totally believe that they were destitute. But I really do love that couple, and I love that marriage, and I think that they're the real deal. And I love that she married for love, which, no shade, is really unheard of in like Los Angeles. People out there are marrying for money, to get somebody to split the rent with. I knew of somebody who was just like, I eventually married him, but I moved in with him because I needed a roommate. I was like, oh my goodness, does your husband know this? It's just real typical of LA. It's a different type of world out there, man. Lord. I gotta move back to the East Coast. Kyle, Mauricio, Portia, Lisa, and Ken go out to dinner or brunch. Or brunch? Yeah, brunch at this really cute little restaurant that I bookmarked on Yelp, because I was just like, listen, rich people, you're not gonna get all the cute places. I'm gonna save up a coin and hit up that little cute Santa Monica restaurant and be bougie for a day. Bad and bougie. Hey. I need to learn the rest of the words. Anyway, they go out for brunch, and while they're at brunch, they're all talking, and, Lisa Vanderpump takes her moment to throw Lisa Rinna under the bus. However, Sweet and Kyle says absolutely nothing and tries to she does this thing where it's like she wants to say something, but she's faking like she's so innocent and pure that she can't say anything, and she does... Like, Kyle, say what's on your mind. But you know what I realized about Kyle? If you watch Vanderpump Rules, Kyle is the Sheena of this show. Like, she wants to be everybody's friend. And I feel like, for me as a viewer, I'm not going to really be a fan of Kyle until she stands on her own 2 feet. I'm going to need her to dig in the ground and take a stance and be her own person. However, I don't think that she ever will, because her husband's business depends on them being liked. You know what I mean? If she gets bad publicity, or if people don't like her for some reason, then that will affect Mauricio and people won't want to use him for the services. Man, poor thing. Then we head on over to Lisa Rinna and Eden Sassoon. What a last name to have, man. She has a great last name. Horrible family life. Ooh. Anyhow, they're discussing the dinner that they had where Dorit was trying to get in Eden's pants. And they're discussing all the issues that happened there. And Eden says something that was so odd to me. It's just like, why would you even say this? She says, I don't feel a connection with Kyle. Like, we're disconnected. I'm like, you met her once. Chill out, man. Eden is so extra. And I think it's because of her sobriety. I feel like wherever she went, whatever rehab she went to, or whatever group that she's in, sober group she's in, it makes her have like this overinflated sense of spirituality, and she becomes just too much. It's way too much. Like, I can read energies. Ma, no, you can't. Like, you know what I mean? You met that girl once. You really have to chill out on that. And then Rinna says that Kyle is an enabler for Kim. Lisa Rinna, you are my girl. You are a hustler. I love your energy on this show. You talk way too much about other people's business, and you put yourself in a lot of situations. Now, I was riding with you with Kim because in that limo she was lit, and nobody in that cast besides Eileen had your back. I was riding with you on that, but now you're talking about Kim and her sobriety again. You are putting yourself in a situation where you are going to get dragged, and you can't handle that. Mind your business. After Rinna says all this stuff about Kyle and Kim, now Eden, in her mind, who thinks that she's like sober superwoman, now she feels like she has to save Kim. Like, she basically thinks that Kim is a pill away from like death because the way Rinna explained it. Like, I think Lisa Rinna even said that she was like near death. Like, her next step is death. And I'm like, that is such a huge accusation to make. I cannot get behind that. Listen, I'm just a viewer of this show. We don't know Kim's sobriety level, and honestly, it's none of our business. And I really feel like, although I like Kim, I don't think she should be on the show because if her sobriety is going to become her storyline, I feel like it may do more harm than good for her. So I hope that it's taken care of, and that she doesn't, if she does come back, that her sobriety isn't her storyline, because this is just getting way too messy. And I'm feeling uncomfortable, especially with the accusation that Lisa Rinna said. I'm just like, Lisa, you have got to mind your business, because being shady and messy is totally different than like making huge accusations like this. This is like Munchausen level. You know what I mean? She makes these accusations and she can't really back them up. Then she like blames everybody for not having her back. And I'm like, Lisa, that was none of your business. Talk to Harry. He will tell you to shut up. We're back at Erika Jayne's home, and I love like all of her outfits. Love them. And she's picking out, or Mikey, her creative director, is helping her pick out some outfits for this Pride event in Minkos that she's headlining. And they're pulling some really, really cute outfits. And I'm just like, I need all of Erika Jayne's clothes. They're so fun and bright and youthful and sexy, but then she has some regal attire. I like her all around. I like her style. I like her energy. I like her realness. She is by far my favorite Beverly Hills housewife. By far. And then her creative director, Mikey, makes this comment. Like, Erika was picking the clothes, and he was just like, Lisa, don't touch that. Lisa can do it. And I guess Lisa is another one of Erika Jayne's employees. And then he looks at Erika Jayne and he goes, you don't do manual labor. We don't do manual labor. That bothered me so much, because I really, really hate when employees take on this persona, this uppity persona, because they have these rich bosses, and they act like because they have this faux like best friend relationship with their bosses, they act like their money is theirs. So they so maybe they get certain perks. Maybe Mikey is able to ride in her Bentley or fly on her private jet, and he takes little Instagram photos, and I'm flying on the jet, but that's Erika's jet. You know what I mean? So because he's able to do these things and has these perks, he takes on this type of personality and mentality and this uppityness that is so disgusting. And it happens with so many employees of rich people, because they think just because they laugh and kiki with them that their money is their money. And it's not necessarily true, because at the end of the day, you're Erika Jayne's employee. And if you mess up and do something that she doesn't like, she can fire you. So all that kikiing and you don't do manual labor and probably treating the rest of her employees like, garbage, because you think you have this friendship with her, that could go away real quick. I just don't like it. It bothers me, because I don't get that from Erika Jayne. So why are you acting like that with her money? He gives me Steven from Django Unchained, Samuel L. Jackson's character. He gives me that kind of tease, like, that servant, I don't want to say servant, but employee who's like top tier, and they treat everybody else like garbage, but they grovel at the head of the boss. It's gross, because it's so, I've worked at places, and I've experienced people like that. I've experienced employees of rich people like that before, and it's so disgusting, and it's so gross, and it's not even satisfying when the rug is pulled out from them, because it happens all the time. It's not even satisfying. It's really, really sad, and I don't know why that personality persists, because it can go away like that, and nobody will want to work with you because you were so horrible to people who were on your same level, and you thought you were something because you had a rich boss, and that went away, and now you're back here with us, and you're trying to work with us, and nobody wants to work with you because you were so horrible. Fix that, Mikey, because I liked you in the other episodes. That manual labor and uppityness, get rid of that. I like you just being fun and kikiing with Erika and doing some dope videos, because you got a great eye. But lose that part of your personality. It's ugly. Eden, Lisa Rinna, and Kyle meet up for brunch, and Kyle thinks that they're just getting together and they're going to have a nice little fun meal and get to know each other. And then it turns into like this ambush, because Eden, because she feels like she has to save Kim, starts asking Kyle personal business about her family. Like, was her mother an alcoholic? And like trying to like find out where Kim's issues with drugs and alcohol stem from. Now, I do feel like Eden was coming from a good place. I do feel like she was extremely out of order, because you don't know Kyle. Those are questions that Lisa Vanderpump can ask her, because they have that relationship. You can't ask that of her. This is like her first time really hanging out with you, and you're asking her if alcoholism runs in her family. Excuse me? And she didn't even bring it up. Now she brought it up, okay. But she didn't even bring it up. Eden was like trying to fish for an issue in her family to try to pinpoint what's going on with Kim and why she can't, and why she's having these issues with drugs and alcohol. And then Rinna is sitting there like she didn't feed Eden all of this information to make her feel like Kim is near death. Normally Kyle gets on my nerves because I feel like she's sweetened and everything. Hello, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Sheena. I feel like she's that type of person. Like, she's just like, I want to be everybody's friend. But this time, I really liked how she stood up for her sister. She was not giving any business. She was just like, no, we're good, we're fine. And she was being really respectful. You know what I mean? She wasn't trying to start anything, but she was shutting that down. She was shutting down Rinna, and she was shutting down Eden. And I was really, really proud of her. Like, I was sitting there on my couch like, go ahead, Kyle. That's right. That's how you stand up for your sister. So I was proud of her. I hope I see more of this, but I feel like the only way I see more, the only way we'll get more of this side of Kyle is because the women, like specifically Eden and Rinna, are gonna pick at Kim. And I don't like that, you know, but I see that this is probably where we're going to go, because I feel like this is Eden's storyline, because she starts all this crying and, you know, going into reading energies and all of this mess. And I feel like Eden has to stop seeing her sister in Kim. Kim Richards is not your sister, Eden. Your sister has passed and went on to glory. We are all sorry for you. And as a viewer, I feel your pain through the TV screen. So I know that it hurts you that you lost your sister. But you can't put that on Kim Richards. They are not the same person. They may have gotten turned out on the same movie set, but Kim Richards is her own woman. And Kyle is not you. I feel like she is projecting her issues or her pain on Kyle and Kim, and trying to like fix the situation because she wished she could have fixed or saved her sister. It's too much, Eden. You gotta back off, sis. You gotta back off. Lisa Vanderpump finally caves in and allows her son to find out some information about his birth parents, because Max is adopted. And Lisa is so over the top and extra and dramatic, and they go there and Max is like, "Are you okay, Mom?" She's trying to cry, and I'm like, "Lisa, listen up. Max ain't leaving that money." You raised him, you gave him this lavish life. I'm pretty sure that his parents couldn't have given him the same life. He's not going anywhere. That's your boy. But the only reason why I wanted to talk about this is because Lisa was like roasting her son when she was talking about when she brought him home. And it was just like really weird. And I was just like, Lisa is so full of herself. She can't really make a comment about anybody else without elevating herself in some way, because she's like, when we brought Max home, he wasn't a pretty baby, but he was my baby. I'm like, did you just tell the world that your son was tender-eyed? We saw the pictures. We didn't need you to reiterate that Max was funny looking. We head on over to Miko's, and Erika Jane is getting ready for her performance, and Kyle is there, and Kyle was the only housewife that she invited, and I was just like, oh my goodness, wow, that was pretty you know, nice of her to do that. And Erika Jane made this comment about how Kyle is real and she's not judgmental, so I don't know if that was like some shade at the other ladies, but it was just really weird that they would have this, like, Erika Jane would be in Miko's at this really nice home, and Kyle is the only housewife there. I thought that was weird. I've never seen like housewives do a trip with just two of them. It's normally the whole group. Anyway, I liked this relationship with Erika Jane and Kyle. I think that she needs that, because I felt like Kyle was coming out of her shell somewhat. I felt like she was having fun, and age appropriate fun. I said this before. I feel like with when people marry into money or want to attain a certain wealthy lifestyle, and they don't normally have that, or they didn't grow up with it, I feel like they become very, very old, i.e. Dorit. Dorit is 40. You couldn't have told me that she wasn't a good 82. Not by looks, but how she acts. She carries herself very old, and I think Kyle does the same thing. I wouldn't know that she was in her 40s because she acts so old, and that happens with a lot of young people or younger people who start making or make a certain amount of money that normally older people are making. So they become extremely old way too fast. So I like to see Erika Jane and Kyle together, because I feel like Erika could really pour into her and, you know, not make her a party girl, but make her a fun person and allow her to have some age-appropriate fun. I feel like Kyle is just so stuck in being like mom to her kids, wife to Mauricio, and businesswoman on the side for fun. I feel like Erika will really I feel like Erika will allow Kyle to let her hair down and have some good times, because we need to see. I miss Kyle with the ponytail and the splits. She needs to come back. Dorit, Eileen, and Lisa Rinna meet up for a lunch at another nice place that I put on my Yelp list. They meet up for lunch, and it's about Erika Jane's coochie and the panties and all of this drama that they're having. I will say this, they all look fierce. They all look fierce. They did not come to play. Eileen looked a little basic, but you know, Dorit put it on. Now I can understand how everybody's talking about her fashions, because in the earlier episodes, everybody was saying that she was slaying, and I was like I said before, all I could see was Talbots. But today she showed up in this cute little bubble, white, bubble kind of shell. It was good. She looked cute. She looked 40. Finally, anyway, they meet up, and Dorit starts off wrong right away. And she immediately starts off, and she's already talking down to Lisa and Eileen. And I told you, you know how Eileen is. She sits there and she's like, you know, Eileen always gives like, she can't quite understand why you're disrespecting her. So they're meeting, and Dorit is talking down to them with this faux accent. Eileen finally becomes a bigger person, and she's just like, she apologizes and they squash it. Dorit, I don't even feel like she really apologized, but whatever. The girls, the ladies, have decided to move on, and for right now, prayerfully, we are done talking about Erika Jayne's vagina. I hope so. So that's where the episode ends. Next week is going to be another filler episode, but I'm loyal to this show, so I'll be there to review it, and I'll see you then. Bye, guys.